Good afternoon. A programme full of fast, entertaining football to look forward to, with the match between Manchester City and Swansea setting a very high standard to start with. Indeed, we were rather fortunate to get a game at Main Road yesterday, with 5 of the Swansea players stranded in Russia until the early hours of Thursday morning, following Wales' demoralising defeat by the USSR in the World Cup qualifying competition. What sort of effect would that have on those 5 players? The answer, once we've seen the action, might surprise you. Another player subjected to that exhausting trip was Wrexham's Joey Jones. He played against Barnsley, and that's our third match this afternoon. Also from the First Division, plenty of thrills between Middlesbrough and Aston Villa, with Villa's Gary Shaw very much involved at a time when England manager Ron Greenwood is looking for new, exciting players for the World Cup finals. Gary Shaw, a prolific scorer, is certainly one of the candidates. Another was in the Manchester City side at Main Road. Here's Martin Tyler.
The value of Trevor Francis to Manchester City clearly illustrated by the 14 goals City have scored in the 6 games he has played. In contrast, they managed only 4 in the 8 matches Francis missed with the knee injury that kept him out of England's World Cup planning this week. City are without Paul Power and Martin O'Neill, and Jerry Gow starts his comeback in the A-team today. So there's a place for Tommy Hutchison, whose talents are now being used more sparingly at the age of 34. Swansea had no doubts about including all 5 players who underwent that much disrupted trip from Tbilisi. Neil Robinson is suspended, but Cemal Hadziabdic, who has been injured for a month, is fit to return. Otherwise, it's the same side that won at Ipswich a fortnight ago. It's Swansea then who kick off, distinguishable in the black shorts, attacking the goal to the left in the first half on a pitch that is slick from early morning rain. And the first free kick given away by Kevin Bond, who brings down Bob Latchford. Latchford just feeling the back of the left hamstring. The City set up an early wall, and Nigel Stevenson has gone up on the far post. And it's Gary Stanley who'll strike it. Quickly to block him was Ranson. Robbie James. Hartford's header. And Dennis Chewett, who scored the winning goal in each of the last 3 City games. The tackle from Mahoney. Here's Hutchison starting wide on the right, wearing the number 11. Stevenson is the defender. And does his job. Tommy Hutchison, who has been substitute in the last 3 games. And the man in charge today is George Courtney from Spennymoor. On from Leighton James. And the flick from Francis, and Reeves is onside and in the clear. Rajkovic trying to haul him back. And fortunately for Swansea, didn't make any contact because Reeves was wide. A nice understanding here between Francis and Reeves. Look at Rajkovic now, the number 4, tried to pull him down outside the area. Reeves went on and put it wide. Here is an Englishman with Swansea, Bob Latchford. Another Gary Stanley was arriving quickly in the area. Hadziabdic going on, setting up Curtis, and then Latchford. And the punch from Corrigan as the whistle had gone. The goalkeeper impeded. Bob Latchford with half a chance there, but the skill came from Hadziabdic, who worked his way into a good crossing position. Deflected up, Corrigan was impeded as he went for the punch. Reeves. Hartford. Francis was going away from him as the ball was played in short. Ranson getting in front of Robbie James. There's Francis, with perhaps a chance for a run at Owen. And gets a fortunate bounce as well. Now to take on Stanley. Still Francis. Well, he really is looking sharp. And one must be glad from the England point of view that knee injury is behind him. It's a long way before rather slipping as he hit the shot. Clayton across with no option but to put it out for the throw. Curtis came for Leighton James, and now for Latchford. Hasn't been the luckiest ground over the years, Main Road, for Bob Latchford. He's missed a number of games here through injuries. Ten minutes remaining in the first half. Which so far has been really more about potential than fulfilment. Here's Francis. Can he keep it in play? He can. Reeves! Francis making a cross really out of nothing here with his extra yard of speed. Reeves at the near post. Here's Reeves. It's just clipped by Owen, and the free kick already taken. Hartford. Now Chewett. Hartford joining Francis in the middle, and Stevenson taking the safe course. Making his way again to offer City some possibilities on the near post. Here he is, and that came off Stanley, and a penalty is given as Kevin Bond made contact with a touch there. Chewett went down, and Mr. Courtney pointed straight to the spot. Chewett puts City in front. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. No real dispute from Swansea. Chewett, accuracy itself from 12 yards. Certainly, Kevin Bond, the arm raised there, central figure in that ploy at the corner for Manchester City, which led to a confusion in the Swansea defence. Curtis. That's the Abdic. Threw it across quickly to close down Mahoney. Swansea now faced with having to just raise their tempo. So after 2 minutes of stoppage time played, Manchester City go off leading through Dennis Chewett's penalty, his 8th goal of the season, after a first half which had been very finely balanced up to that point. And a half-time score at Main Road, it's Manchester City 1, Swansea City 0. Confirmation at half-time from referee George Courtney that the penalty was given for handball by Gary Stanley. And that's the difference between the two sides at the start of this second half. Manchester City looking to build on a run of 3 successive victories. Francis being forced into a deep position. Reeves without support. The nature of the penalty was such that even the Swansea players were asking what exactly it had been given for during the interval. And Stanley trying to retrieve that decision, and he is going to have his name taken for following through on Joe Corrigan. Well, a long way, and Reed here and Bond rather leaving it to each other and then leaving it to Corrigan, and the ball was in the goalkeeper's hands as Stanley began his challenge. Swansea have lost only one of their last 8 First Division games. But maybe just that much harder for those who are in Tbilisi to find the extra running that they're going to need to climb back into this game. Francis. Touched off by Reeves. Here's Stewart. Now Hutchison is in again. The angle is tight and against them. Sensibly he went for the far post, where a colleague following up might have been able to divert it over the line. Stewart finding a way through for Hutchison. Bond's header went straight to Robbie James, and then Latchford clearly handled the ball and is allowed to go on. And Latchford so close to getting on the end of the cross from Leighton James. Swansea have a corner. Curtis making his move as they play it short. Away from Caton. Mahoney had dropped back. And Reed winning an important tackle for City. This is Stewart. Francis going to his right, Reed's to his left. This is Francis, this is Reed. And they couldn't quite get the final pass right. Nicky Reed, a makeshift midfield player, showing his all-round ability in that City break. Swansea are looking to bring on David Giles, shouting there from Doug Livermore. By Caton on Latchford. Curled forward towards Latchford by Stanley, and a decisive punch from Corrigan. The Manchester City substitute is Åge Hareide, the Norwegian international. Caton holding that left arm limp by his side. There's a clumsy challenge by Hartford, and maybe now Caton will be able to get some treatment. I think Mr. Courtney will want him to go off to get it, because Caton is on his feet. Maybe a collarbone, that's what they're checking. Meanwhile, Swansea make their substitution as Hadzi Abdic comes off, and it's David Giles who comes on. He's only played once in the First Division, and that was as a substitute, by an odd coincidence, also in Manchester at Old Trafford. Hareide, who is a central defender, can play midfield. Corrigan didn't get it away so decisively that time. Stanley blocked by Hutchison. Ryder's slotted in alongside Bond. And Giles is pushed forward for Swansea, literally pushed on that occasion, leaving Bobby McDonald on the ground. And Hartford threading it through for Francis. Stewart going to the far post, joining Reeves. Here's Reeves, and against the bar by Tommy Hutchison. The clearest opening that City have made. It has to go down as a bad miss. Here's Ryder. Stewart. Hutchison will keep it in. And takes on Stevenson. And now Reeves! And Davis couldn't keep it out. Kevin Reeves, who has asked Manchester City to play him in the number 8 shirt because he believes that's his lucky shirt when it comes to scoring goals, keeps up that record from close range. "17 minutes into the second half, and a certain irony in the goal in that Reeves had set up that opening that Hutchison squandered, but when Hutchison provided the telling pass, Reeves made no mistake. Curled over Latchford. Now Curtis. Certainly still looking fresh, Alan Curtis. After that tortuous journey home from the Soviet Union. He's won Swansea this free kick. And that's Curtis. May just have been curving away from the goal. A natural curve on the ball has swung in. Now Francis. Being forced wide by Stanley. And Reeves! The partnership is productive again. Well, Trevor Francis took the ball from the free kick. And he set off, I'm sure, initially with a shot in his mind. But he was forced wide. And finally got to the byline. And then clipped it in where Kevin Reeves met it at the near post for his second goal. And with 6 minutes remaining, that I would think is game, set and match for Manchester City. But here's Robbie James. He wants a corner. Mr. Courtney gives the goal kick. Long for Reeves. He'll be pleased with his afternoon's work, especially the second half. Francis. Here's Hutchison. All the running coming from City now. Francis setting up Stewart. Oh, through the legs of Di Davis. It's 4, It's a gift for Dennis Stewart, but Trevor Francis unselfishly setting up the chance. And Stewart says thank you very much. Hutchison, this is Harida, can he make it 5? He has to settle for a corner, although Davis believes that Harida ran it behind. But there are acres of space now for Manchester City to exploit. Certainly looked as though Davis had a case as he asked for a goal kick. And that is the final act of a match in which Manchester City get 2 goals apiece from Dennis Stewart and from Kevin Reeves. They get their 4th successive win. So inevitably questions will be asked about whether some of the running in Swansea's legs was sapped by the travelling of their Welsh contingent. The final score then at Main Road, it's Manchester City 4, Swansea City 0.
And full marks for entertainment, although that's little consolation for the Swansea manager John Toshak, who said it was their worst display of the season. But did it have anything to do with those 5 Welsh internationals being delayed in Russia?
We might have been better if a few more of them had gone to Tbilisi, because the ones that were away were our best players.
Really, you didn't think tiredness crept into their performance at all?
No, I don't think so. Not in any way at all. We were well beaten today.
Well, Dennis, you were impressed with the link-up there between Francis and Reeves. How do they complement each other?
Well, in these 2 players, I feel that Manchester City have found the best striking partnership at Main Road for a number of years. They are always prepared to interchange, one running into space while the other one does the spade work. Both Francis and Reeves have great skills, lots of pace, and are prepared to take on defenders. It's significant that of the 7 goals Reeves has scored this season, 6 of them have come when Francis has been in the side. Certainly on yesterday's showing, Francis has proved that he is just as happy creating chances as scoring himself, and Reeves is quick to seize on any opportunities that come his way. Against Swansea, the 2 of them linked up so well that at times the opposition had no answer to the instinctive teamwork. Cater's first-time ball, and Francis knocks Reeves clear. I felt he might have gone the wrong way, but even so, it was still a great ball by Francis. His free kick from Bobby McDonald, I felt, was not a good ball, but with Francis's remarkable pace, he knocks it and he knows Reeves will be at the near post. Francis is pushed wide here, and again I felt that the Swansea defence thought that the ball was going out and they gave up. Reeves didn't and was rewarded with his 2nd goal. There are sure to be days when Reeves will be the provider and Francis the scorer, and that is the mark of a successful partnership up front. The arrival of Francis at Main Road has taken some of the weight off Reeves, boosting his confidence and given him more time and space to exploit his talents. I expect them to build on yesterday's performance and continue to scare off opposing defences.
Thanks, Dennis. A last word from Main Road. Tommy Caton will be out for about 3 weeks with a fractured shoulder bone. But Jerry Gow came through an A-team game successfully yesterday following his cartilage operation. We stay in the First Division for our next match, which is just as exciting and with even more goals. It comes from the northeast, Middlesbrough against the league champions Aston Villa. The commentator is Roger Thames of Tyne Tees Television.
It's Middlesbrough who kick off in all red against Aston Villa in all white, and Terry Cochran on the floor straight away with that challenge from Peter With. Middlesbrough's form so disappointing, 8 league games since they've won, whereas Aston Villa themselves also in a bit of trouble. Their problem has been scoring goals. They haven't got one in the last 4 league and cup games. David Hodgson closely marked by Gordon Cowans. And Hodgson, the man penalised for a spot of pushing. Foul by Baxter. Be a fair battle between him and Peter With, 2 big fellows together, with the more experienced First Division player. Cowan's chipping it forward. It's not clear at all. With, oh, it's a goal, he scored. Peter With, the poor clearance, severely punished by Peter With. Just 6 minutes gone, Gordon Cowans with the free kick. Never any real danger on for Middlesbrough, but the header defensively was poor, and Peter With hit it first time past Jim Platt. And Villa manager Ron Saunders will no doubt be pleased to see his team score any sort of a goal after 4 games without putting the ball away. Bolton. Hodgson, another good header. And was it inside or was it outside? It's a penalty. Ross was fouled. And Alan Evans protests in vain. There's a huddle of players around referee Alan Banks. But as Ross attacked the heart of the Aston Villa penalty area, there was no doubt the foul was made and the contact was inside the area. McAndrew, he scored. It's 1-1. Tony McAndrew puts Middlesbrough back, even Stevens. No hesitation, real determination, and finally judged by McAndrew. So 13 minutes gone. Tony McAndrew can afford the smile. It's now made it Middlesbrough 1, Aston Villa 1. So Tony McAndrew will be delighted he passed himself. It was a poor header that set up the first chance, but he's atoned now. And that certainly has put some heat into this game. Bolton pressurised by DC and picked up now by Shaw. DC again. It's Bremner who's gone on the run forward, but it's Shearer who's come back with him. Shearer's got a bit of pace. He got the tackle in well as well. Kenny Swain for Peter With. Little flick there, Swain. Oh, what a save from Jim Platt. But what a finely taken drive there from Kenny Swain. Cheeky flick that from Peter With, and Swain was following up, and Platt just got his fingertips to it. So the corner is to Villa. Morley short for Cowans. Morley offside, and the offender was Alan Evans. Jumping there, and Cowans as well. The referee really has kept play flowing at every opportunity. McAndrew. Ross. And Cowans has sent Morley away, who's onside. Support arriving through With, but Morley could go it alone, but finds the side netting. But a break there that typifies the threat of Tony Morley, who was away with tremendous pace. He was just that bit too wide for his own comfort, and Jim Platt, you can see, coming out there to make the angle that much more difficult, and eventually plants it in the side netting. With Gary Williams. Gary Shaw. Swain, a good ball forward for Shaw. Oh, it could fall for Cowans. He scored. Another goal presented to Villa, and the opportunity taken by Gordon Cowans. Slack marking in the defence, and there was the through ball threaded by Kenny Swain. Turned back by Shaw. Natras missed it, and there was Cowans in space with time, and that was the result. So after a spell of pressure by Middlesbrough, Gordon Cowans restores Aston Villa's lead. It's Middlesbrough 1, Aston Villa 2, 16 minutes gone in the second half. And Gordon Cowans gets his 4th goal of the season. Attendance today, a disappointing one for Middlesbrough, just 12,522. And surely a game of this quality deserved rather better than that. Peter with Cowans, reverse ball for Shaw. Oh, well, they've linked up at times. Shaw gets another chance. Solid tackle that from Ross. Cochrane now. Another thundering challenge there, this time from Gibson. A bit of rain in the last 24 hours or so has made the surface a little bit slippery, and the give in the turf has encouraged the players to go sliding in. And now Middlesbrough making the substitution. It's the number 9, Billy Wolf, who goes off, and Billy Ashcroft comes on, centre forward or centre half, but he'll go straight into the front of the attack. This really is a game that Middlesbrough just cannot afford to lose, right down there in 21st position. Free kick to the Borough. Baxter's gone forward. A fair deal of height up there. A little one by Cochrane to McAndrew. That didn't work, but it could cost them dear. This is Gary Shaw, and Morley arriving with some speed. But Middlesbrough have pulled players back in numbers. This is DC. Chest down by... Oh, that's brilliant! That is brilliant by Gary Shaw. And he knows it. Superbly done. Morley here, the little ball in. DC was involved at the chip. The shoulder touch from Peter With, that was lovely, and that finish was really top class. And Gary Shaw scores a superb goal there. 20 minutes gone now into the second half. It's Middlesbrough 1, Aston Villa 3, and the Borough in real trouble, but Villa looking good. And Gary Shaw scores his 6th goal of the season, and a goal of top quality, with the party played in that goal. Middlesbrough still going. DC, Gibson. Ross will collect that one from Hodgson. And Middlesbrough certainly haven't given up the ghost yet. Now Cochrane, still Cochrane. Good efforts. Arima got a touch. I don't think it was going in, but Cochrane cut inside well there, had the shooting opportunity, and Rimmer got a palm to it. So the corner to Middlesbrough. Away by Williams. So again, Ashcroft stretching. He scored, Billy Ashcroft. That was a goal out of nothing. And Middlesbrough are back in it now. Billy Ashcroft, the substitute, comes on and makes his presence felt in telling style. It was Heine Otto who knocked the ball back in. Ashcroft battled with Evans. It felt kindly for him, and he turned on the floor and just poked it in the back of Rimmer's goal. So, Billy Ashcroft, the substitute, the hero for the moment, and he gives Middlesbrough hope. It's Billy Ashcroft who gets the goal to make it Middlesbrough 2, Aston Villa 3. And here Here goes Heine Otto. Hodgson. Ross. McAndrew. Hodgson now. Here goes Hodgson. No penalty. Not that time. And Tony Morley's got a bit of space. Very sure, rather. Tony Morley, in fact, going up there to link with the attack. Here's DC, and with and Bremner. DC again. Baxter should have no trouble with that one. Ashcroft battling away. Clearance, Otto. Hodgson, oh! So close from David Hodgson. But fine work by Jimmy Rimmer. The ball pumped all the way forward there. And header that away, the chance for Otto first. Hodgson on the turn. And a fine save. Here comes the corner. Good fall for Ashcroft, who was on the far post. Good ball in that from Shearer. Oh, Otto couldn't connect when McAndrew had set up the chance. He got up to it, he was on his own, but the ball just glanced off his head. And a firm connection would have put Middlesbrough back on level terms. Wanting the throw-in taken from the correct position. Less than a quarter of an hour to go. Oh, Ashcroft has a chance now. He scored! There's the equaliser. Billy Ashcroft. What a substitution. Nelson Park has gone crazy. Who would have thought they could pull themselves back? Gordon Cowan's here. Mistake. Ashcroft following in, and he buried that one. Well, Billy Ashcroft has made one of the great substitutions. 2 goals by Ashcroft pull Middlesbrough back to 3-3. What a tremendous game, and what a part played by Billy Ashcroft. Well, what emotion there must be on the Middlesbrough bench. Bobby Murdoch right in the middle. Looking for Hodgson, got up well to that one. Cochrane, first time, Otto is the man deep. He's still got a chance. Cowans it is who's with him. Good skills by Otto. Good ball through to Ross. He timed the run perfectly, he got the shot in, but just couldn't get the power. Good move though, the skills of Heine Otto, crucial to it. Lost his marker and played the delicate ball in through for Colin Ross. The shot on the turn, but Rimmer down so quickly. Excellent positioning. There goes the final whistle. Really an amazing game.
Billy Ashcroft, the Middlesbrough hero in that 3-3 draw. He's still on the transfer list, incidentally. The top of the First Division, and Spurs now within 2 points of Manchester United. United, Ipswich and Swansea, of course, all losing. Manchester City are now in 8th place. Well, now the main highlights of an exciting second division game between Barnsley, who are close to the top, and Wrexham, who are near the bottom, and without their three main strikers, Dixie McNeil, Ian Edwards and Mick Vinter. The game was covered by Yorkshire Television. John Helms, the commentator, Wrexham in the dark shorts.
Banks and Glavin streaking down the middle. He's onside, he's inside the box, and there's the shot from Glavin. Oh, and Vicky did well. Chambers. Glavin, oh, good little pass too for Chambers, who's making inroads there, and getting the crossover. Sigelski really miscuing that one, so the danger not averted. McHale unable to get much power behind the header. Oh, it could still fall though. Here's Parker if he turns, and a great effort back from Derek Parker. Smashing effort back from the Barnsley number 8. Oh, and that could still fall as well for Parker, who's got the pace. He's also got Aylock with him. He'll try one himself. Oh, Derek Parker! What a superb goal from Derek Parker. He missed only 30 seconds before. He made no mistake that time. The space was created and Parker was onto it in a flash, and he had the confidence to try the shot with his left foot, and from the moment it left his boot, it was a goal all the way. Parker. And here's Barraclough, taunting and teasing as ever. Oh, and a good cross too. It could still pose problems. McHale. Oh, and a little back flick from Parker. Well, that was so cheeky. Oh, you cheeky boy. Well, that's the sort of goal you get when things are going well. Barraclough teasing the full-back Hill, getting around him, and the cross was perfect. But just watch for the little back flick from Derek Parker. Derek Parker, number 8, oh, back heel it, and, well, Nadzvisky must wonder what on earth hit him. Evans and Aylott in a chase for that one. He'll get their first two, and Joyce is right behind him if he spots him. There he is. Looking for the cross with the left foot. It could come for Glavin, who's in sparkling form, and bringing an equally sparkling save from Nedzvisky. Caradis, almost gave it away, and they do keep playing themselves into trouble. McCarthy almost coming up on the burst at the right moment. As it is, he's now out of defence, and Fox has a chance to run at Chambers. Get it inside him, outside him. Good play from Fox, and the cross could fall for Buxton, and that's a fine goal from Steve Buxton. Well, the little man gets his first goal of the season. And that's a bit of a shocker for Barnsley. It was Steve Fox who made the inroads into the Barnsley defence, with McCarthy having gone up to support his attack. Neat play from Fox, who turned Chambers inside out and planted the cross to perfection to the far post, and Buxton took it very well indeed. Buxton seems to have come more and more into this game since he scored his goal. Oh, he's got past Evans very neatly indeed. Could be something on here, and there certainly is, because Caradis has got the second Wrexham goal. Well, that really is a stunner for Barnsley. They've controlled most of this game, and they're now level. And it was Steve Buxton who got the first goal, who set up this one. He tricked Ian Evans out by the goal line. Very skillful play indeed, and his cross was inch perfect, and Caradis had to do no more than merely slip it into the net. 2-2. Inside the last 2 minutes then, as Steve Jones gets a run. Evans in front of him. Oh, and he's let go. Oh, and that would have been a memorable goal. Cracking effort from Steve Jones. So inside the last 60 seconds, and I can't really see there being much injury time. Barraclough's cross, looking for Aylock. Parker's in a dangerous position, and Parker, Aylock! Oh, dear. Well, he'll have nightmares about that tonight, will Trevor Aylock.
But a fine comeback nonetheless by Wrexham, 2-2, the final score. Well, the Wrexham manager Mel Sutton told us this morning he hopes to sign a new striker next week. Ian Atkins, Shrewsbury's top scorer. Ian Edwards will be going to Shrewsbury in part exchange. Wrexham, though, still in trouble, one place off the bottom, and now a point behind Bolton, who beat Orient 1-0 yesterday. Well, that's all from us on an afternoon when we've seen what a good finisher Kevin Reeves can be and what a genius Trevor Francis is. Good afternoon.
Stewart. Hutchison will keep it in. And takes on Stevenson. And now Reeves! And Davis couldn't keep it out. Now Francis. Being forced wide by Stanley. And Reeves! All the running coming from City now. Francis setting up Stewart. Oh!